welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Cara. I'm a health and wellness coach, a recipe creator, and an author. And I make recipes on Instagram and YouTube, and I also write books. So I used to struggle with an eating disorder, and my eating disorder really kept me from fulfilling my purpose in life and feeling happy. I struggled with anxiety and depression for 11 years along with my eating disorder, and sometimes I still struggle with anxiety and depression. So everything that I do online is dedicated to helping other people out in the ways that they need from what I've learned myself. So let's get into this video, which I'm going to talk about why I started to make low sugar, high protein, well-balanced fat recipes to help me in my eating disorder recovery lifestyle. I just had to connect my microphone. I forgot. I recently moved and I have this, simple white backdrop in front of me, or behind me rather, because I haven't completely set up my new YouTube studio. Today I really just want to have a quick chat with you guys about why I decided to start making low sugar recipes and how that actually helped me and how that helps me today, even though I'm already recovered from bulimia and restrictive eating patterns. So let's dive in. Back in 2017, I was struggling with a lot of patchy redness. If you guys have watched my bulimia recovery story, you know a little bit more about this, so I won't go into detail in this video, so definitely go and watch that if you're interested in hearing my recovery story. But I had been struggling with bulimia for about 11 years by 2017, and by early 2018, I was actually starting an online business. I was actually trying to create some financial freedom in my life. So what I decided was I had to recover from my eating disorder. I had failed therapy twice, and I was still struggling with all these problems, with my skin started to become red on my face and everything. And eventually I started to kind of turn more towards what gut health meant. And I started to realize that it didn't really matter which food I was eating. A lot of times I would wake up the next day with a big rash, and I couldn't really figure out what was triggering this rash. I went to all the specialists, and all of them really didn't have any answers for me, and it was so frustrating to be in that type of situation, because if any of you understand what that feels like, it just feels like you feel crazy, like it's all in your head. And honestly, it's just not a very good place to be mentally, because you start to think about it all the time, and you just perseverate on it, and it fills your thoughts, and it just prevents you from enjoying your life, and it often causes anxiety, and it makes you feel depressed too. So it kind of all ties into each other. And I learned throughout the process of my recovery that my anxiety, depression, anything mentally struggled was actually linked to what I was seeing on the outside of my body. So when I started to do gut healing, because I was like, I want my skin to get better. I want to see if this helps my skin, because I learned that healing the gut is actually tied with better skin health. And I was like, okay, well, I definitely need that. And I still had this eating disorder problem, but I didn't even think that the gut healing was going to help my eating disorder. So meanwhile, I'm learning all these recipes to kind of support my gut health. I'm taking a probiotic drink, a prebiotic fibers, and a daily probiotic to just kind of get my system into a cleanse mode, and also a mode where I'm building back that healthy gut bacteria and repairing the lining that was actually pretty damaged. So from all of those years of binge eating and having all those cravings and just using food as a coping mechanism, I had actually damaged my gut, and I had a candida overgrowth from all of the sugar that I was eating. So on Friday, I uploaded a video about a strawberry shortcake parfait, and I taught you guys how to make that in the video. And this parfait had less than 6 grams of sugar, and granted, it is a pretty big serving for one person. It fits in one little cup, but honestly, when you take it, you could share it with somebody else, because it's pretty rich and dense, even though it's low in sugar. It has a lot of really healthy fat, and I actually included collagen in the recipe, so the protein is high. And that was really helpful for me, because the combination of protein, fat, and fiber helps me feel satiated. And when I started to do that for the sake of my gut lining, I noticed something special. And that was that I wasn't even feeling like binge eating anymore. And as you guys are aware, if you can actually kind of remove the feeling, if you can actually remove that impulse and that just, feeling that you have to do something about your uncomfortable emotions, then you probably won't struggle with it at all anymore. And so that's kind of what happened to me. So all of these types of foods, I was making food like that, it helped my brain feel really satisfied and my body feel satisfied. As I was healing my gut, I was also healing my brain. And within 6 weeks of eating recipes like this, like when I was looking for something sweet, and I hope to bring you some savory, like meal-like recipes as well, because I have a lot to share when it comes to gut healing and the specific way that I eat that doesn't even feel like odd. This feels like my way of life. This feels sustainable to me, and I want to bring that to you so you can see what it looks like to step into a recovered lifestyle and maybe even, you know, stop any disordered behaviors or frustrating relationship with food that you might be experiencing right now. Because life, you know, there's a life out there for you to enjoy, a peaceful state of mind, a peaceful state of confidence where you actually don't even think about food in a crazy way anymore. So I'm excited to bring that to you for, you know, the foreseeable future. This type of recipe really was one of the important key pieces for me, because I think we're all going to have different tastes in food, but I think a lot of people really like something sweet to eat. And for me, like when I eat something sweet, I don't want to be having huge blood sugar spikes. I was also pre-diabetic due to the frequent binges of sugar. And so when it comes to me sustaining my healthy lifestyle and a recovered lifestyle, I like to take care of my blood sugar and my metabolic health. So in addition to doing other things like sleeping enough, drinking enough water, eating a balance of macronutrients, carbohydrates, fat, and protein, I also want to make sure that I'm not having excessive amounts of sugar in my recovered lifestyle. And that can come from things like juices, you guys. That can come from a lot of fruit. Berries happen to be pretty friendly on the glycemic index. Glycemic index refers to how much sugar and how much your blood sugar may spike in response to eating a certain food. So if you ever hear me talk about glycemic index, that's what it relates to. And I really like to eat recipes that have that balance of macronutrients, because then you get more of like a satisfied feeling and it's very nourishing for the body. And it's always a good idea to keep the sugar, added sugars on a lower end so your blood sugar can just be healthy and have a, you know, a solid range for you and your body. Because when we have something like berries or, you know, something carbohydrate form like a banana, our blood sugar does go up a certain amount, but there are some things that spike the blood sugar more. So a banana will spike your blood sugar more than strawberries because of the sugar content inside. I hope this video was helpful for you. I'm going to be doing more videos like this. What do you think about this? Are you going through any disordered eating or any poor relationships with food right now? I would love to do videos on the ideas that you guys have and the questions that you guys have as well. So put them all in the comments below, and we'll see you soon.